Far Cry, realistic, Major Slack.
Okay, Jack. You should be able to get down the river by boat pretty fast. The mobile uplink is downriver, and I don't think you want to swim.
Alright, Jack. Your mission, should you decide to accept, is to locate Colonel Kurtz and terminate his command. Terminate with extreme prejudice. Yeah, how y'all doing? Major Slack here. And we're playing some more Far Cry on the unforgiving, absolutely impossible realistic difficulty setting. And this is the river. The river mission. Alright, and we got a kind of like a Heart of Darkness / Apocalypse Now thing going on, where we have to make our way down a long winding river and deal with a whole bunch of badass mercenaries on the way and terminate their command with extreme prejudice. Yeah. And contrary to what you're going to be seeing in the first approximately 10 minutes of this video, which is mostly stealthing through the bush and picking off enemies with the assault rifle, this level is going to be involving a lot of sniping. In fact, if you don't have the sniper rifle and a whole whack of sniper rifle bullets, go back and get it and get some, because without it you're going to have problems. There's many parts of the river where you simply can't land. You can make your way down the river largely by boat, but a lot of it you can do it by foot on land, okay? And there's lots of parts of the river where the enemy is very far away at a certain enemy position, and as you approach there's simply no place to beach the boat on either side. So you're going to have to take them on either at a great distance or right up close. And you know, bum rushing an enemy position with the boat and then running and gunning your way through their base or whatnot is pretty much undoable on realistic difficulty setting. You're not going to be able to do that. So basically your only other option is sniping. Alright, so once again, if you don't have the sniper rifle and a whole bunch of sniper rifle bullets, go back, redo some previous levels, and get some. Yeah. Now, at the end of the level, this is a long-ass level, by the way. This will probably span about 4 or 5 videos, and I'm talking 13, 14-minute videos. Yeah. At the end of the level, we face off with Crow, I believe. Yeah, pretty sure it's Crow. And once you kill him, you get a new weapon. The M249 SAW, which is a fantastic machine gun. I love it. I love it. The only thing I don't like about it is it shares the same ammo supply as the OICW assault rifle and the AG-36. So putting it in your loadout is kind of counterproductive. But it does have its uses. But I don't pick it up right away, by the way. You'll see when I finally kill Crow, I don't pick it up right away. In fact, I even forget to point it out. But I will pick it up in level 17, because I think there's parts of level 17 where the rocket launcher is much more useful. So my loadout in level 17 is sniper rifle, shotgun, OICW assault rifle, and the rocket launcher, which is actually a riot to use indoors. Yeah, and it really makes things a lot easier in certain parts of the level. And then I pick up the 249 SAW at the end of level 17, and I start using it from there. So that's why I don't pick it up right away, in case you're wondering. Now, stealth mechanics. I wanted to talk about this earlier. Stealth mechanics in Far Cry. What do y'all think about the stealth mechanics in this game? I personally find it a little flawed. I've had countless moments where I'm just screaming at the screen going, no fair, come on game, you know. I was like completely concealed in that bush, and that's worked many times before, and all of a sudden this time all the enemies can see me, you know. Like, what is going on with that? You know, I found that at times frustrating, especially on realistic difficulty. It's the enemy's alertness, if you will, is cranked way up on realistic. On lower difficulty levels, I've noticed the enemy isn't nearly as alert, but on realistic, there's like hyper alert. And like I said, I found there's many no fair moments which kind of threw this kind of like random, you know, element into the game where like, you know, you're like bound to die simply because the odds were against you. You know, it's like your turn to die. You know, you haven't died in 10 minutes, so here we go. You know, I found no, literally doing this walkthrough, I learned that my life expectancy. I'm not kidding. My life expectancy in this game was somewhere around 7 to 12 minutes. You know, after 12 minutes, you know, I was highly likely to get to die. You know, so yeah, I found it a little flawed. Comparing this to Crisis, okay, this is actually the mother of Crisis. I mean, obviously it's the mother of Crisis. It's very, very similar to Crisis. You know, and there's this whole like stealthing through the bush and dealing with, you know, it's kind of like a military sim thing and open world, and even down to the monsters. You know, I found that Crisis, though, on Delta, which is the hardest difficulty on Crisis, was much easier than this game on Realistic, largely because in Crisis they give you the cloak mode option, which really helps out. And in this game, that's the big difference I found between this game and Crisis. You know, they're very similar, but this game there is no option to cloak yourself at will. About the closest thing that comes to that is smoke grenades. And I'm...
The mercs are searching the river. Be careful. Some of their best are out there looking for you.
Yeah, that's true. These mercs are... Yeah, now the closest thing that comes to cloak mode in this game is smoke grenades, and annoyingly enough, they don't give you... They give you very few smoke grenades throughout the game. Very, very few. So you don't really get a chance to experiment with them enough to develop a strategy. You know, so if I had a Far Cry wish list, I definitely would say quadruple the amount of available smoke grenades throughout the game, so we can like play around with them and, you know, experiment and strategize with them a lot more. Because that's one thing that's really missing, is the ability to conceal yourself at will instead of having to rely on certain bushes. You know, and that's pretty much it. These round bushes that I pointed out before, like that one right there, see? These are pretty much the only bushes that will definitely, well, I shouldn't say definitely, will most likely conceal you completely if you bury yourself right in them. So you have to rely on them a lot. All the rest is just, you know, decoration. Like, I mean, that's one thing I liked about Far Cry 2. You put yourself some deep grass, right? Hunker down in prone position in some deep grass, and you're pretty much concealed from the enemy. I like that. In this, deep grass, forget it. They'll see you, no problem. So, I don't know, I found the stealth mechanics in this game a little flawed and a little, I don't know. The Cry Vision I love, though. I mean, that's great. They didn't have that really in, well, they kind of sort of had it in Crisis, I guess. When you put on the binocs, you know, you kind of sort of had that. But they don't have it in Far Cry 2. Far Cry 2, what I liked about that is there's like just no HUD. So the stealth mechanics in that is pretty... I read a lot of people complaining about the stealth mechanics of Far Cry 2, you know, saying it's like it's broken and that, whatnot, you know. It's like, you know, you're like 2 miles away from the enemy, you can see you anyways, you know. Once you get used to it, I found it was pretty good, because you're not relying on, you know, the HUD to tell you whether the enemy spotted you or not. It's just like you're basically watching the enemy's movements, and if he all of a sudden freaks out and starts running around, then you know you've been, you know, you've alerted him to your position and whatnot. So I like that about Far Cry 2, that there's no HUD. So you just basically, it's all about the game, you know, you're completely immersed in the game. So I found the stealth mechanics in Far Cry 2 more enjoyable, really. Even though it's not really that much better, it's just more enjoyable. And this guy is just begging for a buckshot shampoo for hiding on me like this and making me, you know, come right up close to him and, you know, say hello, whatnot. So now we're getting to the beginning of the river, okay? And here's where we first access a boat and begin making our way down the river. And from this point on, like I said, the sniper rifle is gonna be very, very useful. So if you don't have one, go back and get one. And I've always wondered, I have never got a chance to experiment much with this, but I've always wondered if these nerve gas containers, which you can blow, some of them you can like damage so that they start spewing nerve gas, right, like this one here, but you can never make them blow up completely. So I've always wondered if you could strategize with them, because they have them a lot in this level, just sitting on the dock somewhere, and the enemies aren't near them. I never actually tried this, because usually I'm just like picking off the enemies, you know, with my sniper rifle, just killing them dead. You know, why bother shooting a nerve gas container? You can just shoot the enemy himself. But I've always wondered if you could just like shoot the nerve gas container, get it spewing some gas, and then, you know, maybe kill the enemies that way. I'm not sure about that. I never tried that. I would love to, you know, experiment with that. Now here, start making your way down the river and beach the boat right away on the left side here and go up on this kind of like this big rise here, this kind of like that looping rock formation that you see in the opening screenshot there. And there's an enemy boat. Wait till he goes back on his rig, right? Returns on his rig, and then go right up at the very top of this rock, and you're really safe here. You're very safe here. The enemy boat won't see you, and you can have your way with it. Put on some cry vision and doing the driver. Always, if the enemy boat is at a distance, always doing the driver first, so that you know the boat stops, right, and then doing the gunner. If the enemy boat is up close, it's the exact opposite. Doing the gunner first and then doing the driver. But as you can see, he's just looping on this ridiculous patrol route here. So it's a no-brainer. So I got the driver, and the boat has stopped, and now I can pick off the gunner rifle, and I'm way too far away, so he can't get me. So that's that. And just a little further down the river is the first enemy position, and you can snipe a lot of the guys from here. There's 3 guys there. I highly recommend you go for the one on the right first, because if you don't, they'll all run away and bury themselves in amongst those rocks there and whatnot. So you go for that one first, and then these 2 always run back and give you a chance to snipe them as they're moving back to try and take cover, okay? If you do it the other way around, you'll probably only be able to snipe one while the other immediately take cover behind the pillars there. So that's something I experimented with and discovered. So that's down. But be careful going into that enemy position, because there's a rocket launcher guy way high up on the left. Now I'm going to take a little swim here. And just did that to get back to my boat quickly. Knew I could get away with it. Okay, so continuing down the river, that enemy position has been, for the most part, subdued. Probably going to take a little look-see with my binocs to make sure. 2 kinds of boats in this level: the rubber rafts and the patrol boats. The patrol boats have mounted guns on them, so you want to use them mostly. But there is one key difference: the rubber rafts handle a lot better. Okay, they handle a lot better than the patrol boats. So if you're just about, you know, driving the boat down the river, you don't want to use the mounted guns, stick with the rubber raft. And I'm peeking around the corner here. I want to pick off a bunch of guys at the next enemy position, but make sure you don't peek around too much, because like I said, there's a rocket launcher guy up on your left, so you don't want to reveal your position to him. But you need to take out these guys first, especially the mounted gun guy, before you can get an enfilade on the rocket launcher guy. And the best place to take down the rocket launcher guy is that bush right there. Okay, that bush right there. Speed run to it, bury yourself in it, you should be fairly safe. And there's the rocket launcher guy high up on the left side. Binoc him, key him up, and take him down quickly before he gets, you know, before he sees you. And that's it. And that is it for this position, and the positions up ahead, you're fairly clear. And that is it for this video. Coming up next, part 2 of the river mission of Far Cry on the realistic difficulty setting. Thank you all very much for watching, and hey, if you thought this video was remotely entertaining, don't forget to give the old Slackster a thumbs up. Yeah, alright, that's it. Slack is